From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We got a big weather day ahead of us as it is one of the busiest travel days of the year. And it's going to be quite a snowy day for a Cascade Passes, 8 to 9 inches from 10 this morning to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then waking up tomorrow morning in the Kittitas Valley could have a little glaze of ice on the roadways. So that's something we're tracking very closely. Then more wet weather for Wednesday through Saturday, which could impact Thanksgiving Day. Okay, but that first alert weather day we're issuing in particular for today because of the dangerous travel in the Cascade Passes. We'll have more to say about the snow later in the show. You see light snowfall already picking up this morning in the Cascades. It'll be interesting to see if this makes it down to the Yakima Valley floor. We're not as bullish for Yakima Valley snow anymore, but still certainly we could see a little dusting at least in the Kittitas Valley. This morning we're in the 20s and 30s across the map. Your day planner forecast for this Tuesday will have chances of snow throughout the day in the Kittitas Valley, but we're mostly just going with a cold rain for the Kittitas Valley and elsewhere for lower elevations. But a lot more to say about the snow and the ice and the wet weather that could impact Thanksgiving Day. All that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, a pedestrian has been left in critical condition this morning. What police say led up to a driver hitting someone in a marked crosswalk. We have that story coming up. Plus, Franklin County is asking for public input on its new hazard mitigation plan, a blueprint for wildfire risk, extreme weather, and more. How you can make your voice heard. And a terrifying wake-up call at 3 a.m. A local woman says she only survived because of 4 little devices installed months earlier, and now the community is stepping up in a big way. We have that story and so much more coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott. Jessica has the morning off, and we want to start in Richland this morning, where a pedestrian is in critical condition after being hit by a car yesterday. Police tell us it happened early yesterday morning, just after 8 a.m., when a driver turning from Lee Boulevard onto Chestnut Avenue hit a person in a crosswalk. Officials tell us that the driver wasn't distracted and is cooperating. Investigators telling us that that driver is cooperating and that the pedestrian was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. We're told the investigation is currently ongoing at the moment. And taking you to Yakima now, where the city council is currently searching for a way to fund the Lions Pool until the end of February. Proposed budget cuts would close Lions Pool, which serves host to all high school swim teams in the Yakima area, as well as hosting several swim and exercise classes. The boys' swim season ends in February, and the pool was set to be closed in December. Community members poured in to advocate for the pool, so they hope it remains open.
And right now, I just feel like my voice isn't being heard because you guys have already decided. These are scholarships. These are lives. These are our children, our future, our community. And I was trying to be a nice grandmother right now, but I'm just really frustrated. There has got to be a way that these guys don't stop in December. That's not fair.
The council unanimously voted to find a way to keep Lions Pool open until the end of February. Exactly where that money will come from has not been finalized. And in Franklin County, emergency management is nearing completion of its hazard mitigation plan, a roadmap for how the community can prepare for and respond to potential disasters. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert sat down with the deputy director to learn what's in the plan and how it can impact residents.
Franklin County Emergency Management is now in the public comment phase of its updated hazard mitigation plan, a review required every 5 years before reaching this point. The county met with local fire, law enforcement, and public works and housing officials, and even held public input sessions to identify the biggest hazards facing the region. Officials at Franklin County Emergency Management tell me that this hazard mitigation plan is all part of a much bigger goal of getting the public, as well as fire departments and emergency services, aware of hazards throughout the community that many often wouldn't think about.
We have extreme heat events, we have extreme cold weather events we're going to be looking at here in the next couple of months, and we have wind, we have landslides in our area.
Payne says the plan also identifies action items, including how to address issues like toxic algae blooms, which appear every summer.
It provides them backup documentation so that if they were to apply for a grant to do that research, they'd be able to say, hey, this is in our plan. This is an identified risk to our community.
The document also includes a community wildfire protection plan, which expands on local fire risks, something Haynes says is a growing concern.
Because when we do burn, it's usually during a windstorm, and that aggravates the fire a little bit more and kind of makes things a little more complex.
The plan lays out projects aimed at reducing those risks, including improving fire safety along major roads.
Some of the projects that can happen are like mowing down the fire fuel that's alongside of the highways, especially 395, because that can become that fire can burn really, really quickly.
It also outlines how to better alert the public when an emergency happens.
How do we alert you? You'll see more code red or crisis 24 notifications or encouragement to enroll.
Officials say the goal of the plan is to help the community prepare for a wide range of hazards and build a stronger, more coordinated response system. In Pasco, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And the public comment period for the hazard mitigation plan will end on December 5th. 5:06 now, and taking an in-depth look at a Kennewick woman who says she wouldn't be alive if it weren't for 4 smoke alarms installed by Red Cross volunteers. And after a fire destroyed her furnace, a local business is now stepping in to help her rebuild. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen shows us how Kristen Myers is turning tragedy into gratitude.
At 70 years old, Kristen Myers says she has never felt fear like the moment she woke up at 3 a.m.
One of the most terrifying things that ever really happened to me. Smoke was billowing out of my utility room.
She had fallen asleep, but all 4 smoke alarms were going off.
If I would not have had the fire alarms from Red Cross, it could have been a whole different situation.
Those alarms installed for free earlier during a Red Cross Sound the Alarm event are why she and her dog Shasta made it out. I'm standing outside Kristen's home now, where firefighters say the furnace failed, which sparked the fire. While the flames didn't travel far, the system was destroyed, leaving her without heat going into these colder months. For weeks, Kristen lived without a working furnace or AC until Chinook Heating and Air heard her story.
In Kristen's situation, she was well deserving of some help of the community.
Chinook is donating a complete heating and cooling system covering all equipment and installation. And Reyes Electric is donating its time to make sure the electrical is safe.
I couldn't stop crying. I felt like, why am I getting this blessing?
For the Red Cross, her story shows their home fire campaign saves lives.
I mean, so moving to hear a story, a life that was saved because of this preparedness program.
Now, Kristen wants to give back.
If I could go to one home and say, yes, you need this, and they took it, and it would save them, that would mean everything to me.
A survivor now determined to protect others. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And the annual Turkey Trot is one way that you can help out, as all of the funds raised go to the Red Cross and to their home fire campaign. So if you need smoke alarms or want to volunteer with the Red Cross, the home fire campaign is available year-round. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, Verizon announcing some permanent layoffs across Washington, while Campbell's is pushing back on claims made in a secret recording. We have all those details behind both business shakeups and what it could mean for consumers coming up after the break. And giving you a live look outside this morning from right here at our Apple Valley studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have a look at your forecast when we come back, as we are looking for some more wet weather and possible snow in the mountains as we head into a busy holiday travel week.
So you only check it twice?
Well, yes.
Nissan tests every model thousands of times.
We even test them for severe Arctic weather.
No wonder Nissan is J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality. Hold on to that hat, Santa.
Hurry in for Black Friday savings at the Nissan year-end event. Now get $5,000 customer cash on Pathfinder or get a low $259 per month lease on Sentra.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
Saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Save now with Black Friday pricing at Bi-Mart, where we're saving you more on what you need, leaving you more for Christmas gift giving. Rustler men's straight leg regular fit jeans are sale priced at just $9.99. Hot Wheels are sale priced at 79 cents. Dello 15W40 diesel oil is sale priced at $9.99. And all CoverGirl cosmetics are 50% off. Save now with our best prices of the season during our open house at your employee-owned Bi-Mart.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
It's the can't-miss finale of Dancing with the Stars.
Who will win it all?
This ballroom is officially on fire!
Dancing with the Stars, the finale, live tonight on ABC and Disney+.
Is local traffic camera data shared with federal agents? Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We'll have wet weather continuing. Obviously, we have a big weather day in store for today in terms of snow and ice, but for Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, and for Saturday, wet weather will continue. So here's what that's going to look like in the Tri-Cities. About a 30% chance of rain during the day on Wednesday, but about 50-50 for Thanksgiving Day. Trending drier, though, for Black Friday and Saturday. Looking completely dry by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. So from 4 p.m. on Wednesday to 4 p.m. on Friday, this is going to be the wettest time frame for the storm system, at least up in the mountains. So we're expecting another inch plus of water up in the Cascades, around a ½ inch for the Blues, and of course, per usual, not as much for lower elevations. Here's a deeper dive into Thanksgiving Day, though, as we'll be in the low to mid 40s for lower elevations, and those rain chances are going to span from about 50 to 70%. So it would be a good day to keep the festivities indoors. Let's take things back to today. High temperature is going to be in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations. We're also looking at 30s and 40s up in the mountains as well. And then overnight lows dropping down into the 20s and 30s. And where we're below 32 degrees is going to be important. We'll be below 32 in the upper Yakima Valley, but more so concerned about in the Kittitas Valley, where there could be a little bit of freezing rain. High temperatures going to stay put in the 40s over the next 7 days, and those overnight lows are going to bounce between the 20s and the 30s. But we'll have a lot more to say about the ice potential and, of course, the snow potential for our Cascade Passes. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thank you. 5:14. Turning to business headlines this morning, Verizon is cutting jobs across Washington, and that includes right here in the Yakima Valley and Tri-Cities. A new notice shows about 165 employees will be laid off at 23 locations starting January 3rd. Company says it's consolidating and restructuring to maximize facilities and resources. The cuts include 54 remote workers, 22 positions in Bellevue, and the rest at Verizon stores, with anywhere from 1 to 11 employees let go at each location, including Kennewick and Yakima. In all, 54 retail and management jobs are on the chopping block, along with tech, engineering, analysts, and business roles. Verizon says the layoffs are permanent, but affected employees can apply for other jobs within the company if they qualify. And in more business news this morning, Campbell's Soup is denying claims about its products allegedly being made by an executive in a recorded conversation. Now, we turn to ABC's Sophie Flay for a full breakdown on the controversy.
Campbell's.
Good.
This morning, Campbell's Soup is denying claims about its products, allegedly made by an executive in a recorded conversation. The person in the recording is also heard belittling Campbell's customers during an expletive-filled rant.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording is allegedly from a conversation that's now part of a lawsuit filed by Robert Garza, a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, who claims he was fired after reporting the alleged remarks, which he says also included racist comments about company employees. Garza claims Campbell executive Martin Bally made those comments after the two met to discuss Garza's salary. In a statement, Garza's attorney saying, "This situation has been very hard on Robert. He thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead, he was abruptly fired." Campbell's responding, saying, "If the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company." And going on to say, "The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd."
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's Soup.
Campbell saying, "The chicken meat used in our soups comes from long-trusted, USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards." And the company noting, Bally worked in IT and had nothing to do with food production. Bally is on leave, pending a company investigation. In the meantime, the Attorney General in Florida, a state that bans lab-grown meat, says his office is now investigating Campbell's products. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
As of this morning, Campbell said it has not been able to verify the recording. We'll, of course, keep you updated as we learn more. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He's going to have your first alert forecast coming up after the break as we give you that live look outside from right here at the Apple Valley Studio in Kennewick. There is snow in the forecast. Josh is going to let you know when and where it'll be falling. We're back right after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single pop-up burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team. At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems. And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. And right now, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
In a town by the lake on a crisp winter night, holiday lights sparkle, a beautiful sight. A cruise to the North Pole, cocoa in hand, a feeling of joy throughout the land. Fireworks bursting, the grand Christmas tree, rooms with treats for both you and me. One December, I just might proclaim, let's move Christmas to Coeur d'Alene.
Happy holidays from Queensgate Gardens. With family in town, it's time to decorate your tree. Visit Queensgate Gardens today to build your own Christmas ornaments. Tell Santa Claus what's on your list and create holiday memories that will last forever. For this season's holiday cheer, visit Queensgate Gardens.
Don't leave it to chance. Trust Vance for your heating system check. Call before November 30th to schedule your appointment, and you'll pay only $96. We'll evaluate your equipment and explain issues that could affect your comfort. A Vance heating check this fall can ensure that your home stays warm and cozy all winter long. Don't wait. Call today or book online.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, we want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our patients. It's been a pleasure to serve you and to improve your smiles. So, from all of us to you and yours, happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Getting into the holiday spirit. Fly the Northwest tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is indeed a First Alert Weather Day because of the snow we could see in our Cascade Passes from 10 a.m. this morning to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, 8 to 9 inches of snow piling up. So here's a look at the snow map at large. Again, it's that same time frame. And yeah, we could also see a little dusting of snow in the Kittitas Valley and about 5 inches of snow for Oregon 204 at Tollgate. So if you plan to travel over the passes for today, have the tire chains and have the winter safety kit ready to go. Now, speaking of the valley, there is a different concern in the Kittitas Valley, at least 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. A glaze of ice will be possible. So let's go ahead and show you the ice map. And we could also have a glaze of ice for Snoqualmie Pass, although the snow impacts will be much bigger. And a glaze of ice possible for Tollgate and for the Battle Mountain Summit in the Blues. Now let's show you the 30,000-foot view of all of this. We'll put this into motion with Futurecast satellite and radar. And for today, we'll have this storm system. You can see this is a cold front, this is a warm front, this is a occluded front, but all that to say, active weather for today because of this storm system. We'll get a little break in the action for tomorrow afternoon, but then very quickly that next storm system, and this one's going to be a much warmer one because of the warm front. And this one is, since it's going to be a warmer storm system, it's not going to be as snowy, but there will be ample rain chances from Wednesday through Saturday. Okay, now let's put Futurecast into motion for the next 48 hours. This is 8 this morning, already seeing snow up in the Cascades. A rain-snow mix trying to formulate in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. There's going to be a much better chance for snow today in the Kittitas Valley as opposed to the Yakima Valley. Lunchtime, looking at light rainfall for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Blue Foothills. Snow starting to mix in for Blue Mountain passes, and then 5 p.m. you still see it's snowing pretty heavily up in the Cascades. Midnight starting to look a little bit drier for the valleys and for the Cascades, but still dealing with some wet stuff for the basin and for the foothills. Overall, tomorrow will be a much drier day, but that next storm system will start to impact us as we head into the rest of the day on Wednesday night, and then into Thanksgiving morning. So all that to say, you can see hour-by-hour precip chances and timing for your neck of the woods by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Chances of rain today through Saturday, although Friday and Saturday are trending drier. In Yakima, rain likely today, drier for Wednesday, but wetter again for Thanksgiving Day. In Ellensburg, snow mixing in throughout the day, although accumulations will be minimal, then perhaps some icy roadways for tomorrow morning. In Hermiston, rain chances will hover around 50-50 for today, tomorrow, and Thanksgiving, drier for Black Friday and Saturday. And finally, for Walla Walla, consistent rain chances today through Black Friday, then watching the potential of a few flurries flying on Saturday.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, a huge return for one of Hulu's biggest shows, plus a new list crowns the funniest movies of all time. And the #1 pick might surprise you. Also, some big changes for this year's New Year's Eve Rockin' Eve. Stick around, that's all ahead when we talk entertainment news coming up after the break.
It's a great time to buy, great time for traditions.
It's like loading up a Ford SUV and going to Grandma's house.
Hitting the slopes in a Built Wild Bronco.
Or making the big delivery with Ford F-Series.
Does it come in red?
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans. Compare drug coverage. Compare costs. See if you can save. And make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Compare plans now at Medicare.gov.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
And Consumer Reports
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
It's a great time to buy, great time for traditions.
It's like loading up a Ford SUV and going to Grandma's house.
Hitting the slopes in a built wild Bronco.
Or making the big delivery with Ford F-Series.
Does it come in red?
Is local traffic camera data shared with federal agents? Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Welcome back, 526. Looking to the world of entertainment this morning, and a hit series is coming back for more.
Plus a new ranking of the greatest comedy movies ever made and a star-studded New Year's Eve lineup.
With what's happening in Hollywood, here is Melissa Adon with the details.
This case could decide the firm's future, and our business is just growing so fast we can't handle it all.
All's Fair is coming back for more. The Ryan Murphy lawyer series starring Kim Kardashian has been picked up for season 2 at Hulu, with production starting in spring of 2026. Kardashian stars alongside Sarah Paulson, Glenn Close, Niecy Nash-Betts, Naomi Watts, and Tiana Taylor in the drama centered on an all-female divorce attorney firm. Variety has released their list of the 100 best comedy movies of all time. The list includes classics like Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein and Bringing Up Baby, as well as newer favorites such as Elf and Mrs. Doubtfire. As for their #1 pick, that goes to 1988's The Naked Gun. Ryan Seacrest and Rita Ora are getting some company this New Year's Eve with Julianne Hough and Chance the Rapper, joining them as co-hosts for Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest 2026. Hough will help co-host festivities in Las Vegas, while Chance will ring in the new year in his hometown of Chicago. The show airs Wednesday, December 31st, live on ABC. And happy birthday to Christina Applegate, who turns 54 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
I love this time of year for a number of reasons. I mean, the holidays are fantastic, but they start to do all of the countdowns of, you know, the top favorite this or the top of all time, and I always think it's fun to kind of get those recaps.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see Elf getting its flowers, because now that it's been around for over 20 years, really is an all-time classic and maybe Will Ferrell's best performance.
Oh, that's a bold statement,
Yeah.
but I do love Elf. It is one of my favorites. It is up there, yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Washington State Patrol is out with some new numbers, and they are eye-opening. Just ahead, what troopers say drivers need to watch for before Thanksgiving travel begins. That's all coming up in your 5:30 half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon is launching the first antenna for its satellite internet service. The Leo Ultra is competition for Starlink. Amazon claims it's the fastest customer terminal in production. This is a private preview before next year's rollout. No word on pricing. An electronics retailer accidentally sold iPads worth $1,000 for just $17 each. It took the company based in Italy 11 days to realize the mistake after the tablets were shipped. It's now asking customers to return the iPads or pay full price. And finally, controller meets clog. Xbox and Crocs have teamed up to make this footwear meant to resemble the famous Xbox controller, complete with buttons and joysticks. The limited edition Xbox shoes are available through the Crocs website for $80. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rena Roy. Have a great day.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad.
Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You gotta swivel those hips, right? And you gotta swing. Forward! And if you don't have the right insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Kellogg's cereal. Grain, sugar, salt, malt. That's it. Plus vitamins and minerals. Oh, and ice cold milk.
250 years ago, a promise was made. How we deliver has changed, but our purpose hasn't. It's the peace of mind knowing your love arrives reliably and affordably. The United States Postal Service. Delivering since 1775.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Jessica has the morning off, and she is missing out on some of these wet, soggy, and cold mornings.
Yeah, I don't think she would
I'm sure she's just bummed.
Yeah, I don't think she would be too happy with these mornings, and especially when you start to say snow, like I think that would really bring her down and bring down the room. But unfortunately, I got to bring down the room as we do have snow in the forecast today for our Cascade Passes. Let's go ahead and take a look at our big weather stories, and it's the biggest of weather stories, as today is a first alert weather day. It's one of the biggest travel days of the year, and it unfortunately coincides with some snowy passes, especially for the Cascades. And then overnight, could see a little glaze of ice possible in the Kittitas Valley. We'll talk more about that, and then more wet weather possible with another series of storm systems from Wednesday through Saturday, which could impact Thanksgiving Day. Okay, but again, that first alert weather day for today, 10 a.m. this morning to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, 8 to 9 inches of snow for Snoqualmie Pass and White Pass. So if you're traveling over U.S. Highway 12 or Interstate 90 for today, something to keep in mind. Already seeing some of that snowfall up in the Cascades, and it looks like a rain-snow mix is trying to formulate in the Kittitas and Yakima Valley. So the much better chance of snow today is going to be in the Kittitas Valley. It's probably mostly just going to be a cold rain in the Yakima Valley. All of us in the 20s and 30s for this morning. Your umbrella cast for this Tuesday for the Tri-Cities. You see rain chances really going up after 3 p.m. and they're going to stay in that 50 to 60% range. So for today, 30s and 40s for lower elevations, gloomy, a little wintry in the Kittitas Valley, but more wet weather for the rest of the week. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, and we are talking Thanksgiving travel because it is time. As Thanksgiving is on Thursday and the holiday spirit with that comes a surge of travelers on the road. AAA forecasting a record-setting holiday stretch between now and Monday. But with more drivers out there, the risks also increase. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Garcia brings us some essential advice straight from Washington State Patrol officers to help us stay safe and alert this holiday season.
Thanksgiving travel means packed roads and busy highways. Washington State Patrol Trooper Daniel Masqueda shares some eye-opening statistics from last year's Thanksgiving weekend in the Tri-Cities area.
Driving for most people is going to be the most dangerous thing you do on a day-to-day basis, especially during the holidays.
Last year, over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, there were 18 car accidents, 6 DUI arrests, and 28 aggressive driving contacts. Those are the cases where drivers went more than 20 miles per hour over the speed limit or drove dangerously enough to put themselves or others at risk.
123 speeding contacts, and we contacted a total of 5 distracted drivers. Now, these numbers are high, but I want everybody to remember during the Thanksgiving holidays, that's one of the most busiest times of the year on Washington roadways.
Holiday travel means the roads are crowded because families and friends are coming together and many people have the day off.
We want to make sure individuals remember that the road doesn't just belong to one person. Please share the road. I know that the holidays bring out a lot of stress in individuals and in family, so that might transition into behind-the-wheel driving, where we see an increase of road rage behavior, and we want to let everybody know that we take that very serious. If you are a victim of road rage, please dial 911, especially if you have somebody following you.
Think no one is watching when you speed or weave through traffic? Not true. Thanks to dashcam footage and Bad Drivers page, troopers use videos and pictures to identify criminal behavior, track down hit-and-run drivers, and catch road rage offenders.
Even though you don't see police around you, there may be witnesses, there may be people recording, and like that saying goes, make sure you do the right thing even if no one is watching. That we want people to understand that the holidays will bring out a lot more drivers and people will be stressed, so please do what's right and avoid any of these type of behaviors.
If you're planning a road trip this Thanksgiving, Mosqueda reminds drivers to prepare their vehicles properly.
Remember that chains sometimes are required on mountain passes. If you have fog lights, please use them. Even during the daytime, sometimes it'll get foggy all of a sudden, or it'll get really bad with snow or rain. So vehicle prep is important.
And finally, the most crucial reminder, buckle up and make sure everyone in your car is buckled up as well. It doesn't just save you from being pulled over, but it also saves your life. Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
And Trooper Mosqueda urges everyone to stay vigilant. If you notice someone drinking and driving, swerving, or driving the wrong way, do not hesitate. Call 911 immediately. He says together we can keep the roads safer for everyone this Thanksgiving. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, moving from the roads to the skies. Holiday shoppers now have Black Friday and Cyber Monday in sight, but there's another huge day that could save you hundreds on your next vacation. How to catch the travel deals most people miss. It's all coming up in this morning's Consumer Alert.
Getting into the holiday spirit. Fly the Northwest tonight.
As an NFL linebacker, he knows what it means to be tough. But it was off the field where he faced the toughest news. A routine blood test that showed he had cancer. Now he speaks out.
You have a game on Thursday. The next day is surgery. Yeah. How was that process?
This morning on Good Morning America.
Allen Brecky Law Offices emphasizes the rights of accident victims and can answer your questions, such as how long do you have to file a claim? Are you getting a good settlement from the insurance company? If someone's carelessness has left you sidelined, get some answers.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on Sierra 1500 models.
See your Inland Empire GMC dealers.
When tragedy strikes, don't trust just anyone. Call your local appliance experts at Fred's Appliance. Right now, all LG appliances are on sale. Save big on ranges, dishwashers, and laundry sets. Shop smart appliances like this LG fridge, on sale for $15.99. At Fred's Appliance, we have in-stock get-it-today inventory so you can get your dessert plans back on track. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend.
So happy together.
And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Now well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. Plus, Costco executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
Allen Brecky Law Offices emphasizes the rights of accident victims and can answer your questions, such as how long do you have to file a claim? Are you getting a good settlement from the insurance company? If someone's carelessness has left you sidelined, get some answers.
It's the can't-miss finale of Dancing with the Stars.
Who will win it all?
This ballroom is officially on fire!
Dancing with the Stars, the finale, live tonight on ABC and Disney+.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Of course, we'll have a lot more to say about the snow and the ice potential for today and tonight, but the wet weather is going to keep on keeping on for Wednesday through Saturday. Here's what that's going to look like in the Tri-Cities. About a 30% chance of rain during the day for tomorrow, but that bumps back up during the day for Thanksgiving. About a 50-50 chance of wet weather, and then trending much drier for Black Friday and Saturday. Completely dry for Sunday and Monday. Here's some of the water projections from 4 p.m. on Wednesday to 4 p.m. on Friday. So with that follow-up storm system, another wet one for the Cascades, over an inch of water, around a half an inch for the Blues. And obviously the totals are going to be less for lower elevations. But a deeper dive into Thanksgiving Day, low to mid 40s. Rain looking likely with temperatures, with rain chances obviously bouncing anywhere between 50 to 70%. Okay, let's take things back to today. We're going to be in the 30s and 40s across the map, and high temperatures going to stay put in the 40s in the Tri-Cities over the next 7 days, even though we'll trend a little bit colder into the weekend, and then overnight lows down into the 20s and 30s. So see that overnight low of 28 in the Kittitas Valley. That's going to bear a lot of relevance when it comes to the potential for light icing overnight and into tomorrow morning. Overnight lows in the Tri-Cities going to be in the 30s through Friday night, dipping down into the mid-20s for Saturday night and beyond that. But we'll take it all the way back to today. We'll touch on the snowfall potential for the Cascades and the ice potential for the Kittitas Valley. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, 541, looking to a consumer alert now. If you are stumped on what to ask Santa for Christmas this year, well, how about a gift that will create memories for a lifetime, like a vacation?
And now is the best time to plan a trip and save. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan explains the big discounts you can find on what's known as Travel Tuesday, which falls on December 2nd this year. Take a look.
When it comes to holiday shopping, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are the Super Bowl for retail. But after those two big days is a lesser-known doorbuster day called Travel Tuesday.
Travel Tuesday is the most comprehensive day of deals across the travel industry.
Travel expert Emily Kaufman, known as the Travel Mom, says the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is when you can score major discounts on flights, cruises, hotel stays, and even travel packages.
Travel is such a huge category and is in such high demand that they curated and created their own special day.
But unlike Black Friday deals, which can extend through the entire month of December, Kaufman says many of the travel bargains only last 24 hours. Here's some of the details on the discounts you can score. Kaufman says Great Wolf Lodge, which has locations around the country, has a big sale for Travel Tuesday.
They're having a one-day flash sale, which has savings of 40% on standard rooms and up to 50% for premium or themed rooms.
Personal finance site NerdWallet recently came up with a list of the best deals for Travel Tuesday. Big hotel chains are slashing prices. Hilton is offering up to 50% off of some stays. Marriott up to 40%. And many Hyatt hotels will be offering up to 30% off. It all depends on the location and dates. The secret to Travel Tuesday isn't luck, it's preparation.
Oftentimes, these deals require a specific promo code, so make sure you do your research ahead of time, and they're for select dates.
If you're looking for cheaper flights, Kaufman says travelers could save up to 40% off through the flight booking app Hopper. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, if Travel Tuesday is on your radar this year, which it's now on mine, experts say being flexible is key. If you can shift your dates or even your destination, you'll open the door to much bigger savings.
Another smart move, set deal alerts ahead of time. So airline sites like American can notify you the moment a price drops. And I actually took advantage of Travel Tuesday this past, back at the end of 2024 for a trip in 2025. And yeah, I would highly recommend everyone out there.
Have you taken that trip?
I have.
Where'd you go?
It was back home to Alabama.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, when you went.
Yes.
Oh, fun. Yes. Yeah, well, I think, we've been talking about this over the course of the last couple of weeks as we're getting closer to Christmas and all the things. My kids don't need anything at all. And that's fantastic for them, right? So we are more about the memories and the experiences and taking a trip together instead of just buying more Legos.
Yeah,
you know?
because memories are priceless. You can't put a price tag on that,
Yeah.
and it's an intangible thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I love it. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And giving you a live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth going to be back talking snow as we make our way to Thanksgiving. It's 5:44. We're back after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At Neurostim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Much to the delight of our customers, John Gray now brings you Gray's Pizza and Bar, your new favorite spot in Grandview for great foods and good times. Be sure to catch all the excitement on local high school game nights. We're open late for your after-game hangouts. And don't miss our Monday to Friday happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. And Sundays, bring the football vibe with our happy hour all day long. Gray's Pizza and Bar, great deals, great eats right here in Grandview. Come see us today.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota, like Camry.
Wait, what?
RAV4 Hybrid.
Cool.
Tundra, and more.
Whoa.
How'd you do that? Toyotathon magic.
Toyotathon is on, and right now, you can lease a new adventure-ready 2025 RAV4 for just $289 a month.
'Tis the season for Toyotathon.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Visit a Christmas tree farm. Fly the Northwest tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a First Alert weather day for Cascade Passes as they're going to be snowed over. And let's go ahead and take a look at that snowfall map. 10 a.m. on Tuesday to 4 a.m. on Wednesday, going with 8 to 9 inches of snow for Interstate 90 and for U.S. Highway 12. A little dusting of snow for the Kittitas Valley. We've pulled back some of those amounts in the Yakima Valley, and then 5 inches of snow still for Oregon 204 at Tollgate. So if you have to travel over the passes for today, especially in the Cascades, have the tire chains, have the winter safety kit ready to go. Now, speaking of the valleys, 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. for tomorrow morning, that's when we could see a light glaze of ice possible in the Kittitas Valley in particular. So some of those roadways could be icy for tomorrow morning. Also, we could see a little glaze of ice up in the Cascades and for some of our Blue Mountain passes, but the snowfall is going to be more impactful. Here's the 30,000-foot view of things over the next handful of days. So this storm system number 1, you're seeing right here with a cold front, a warm front, and a occluded front. And so that is going to sweep through the region over the next couple days. But by tomorrow afternoon, we'll get a little break in the action before that next storm system hits us for Wednesday through Friday. This one's going to be warmer because of the warm front you were just looking at on your screen. And because of that, there's not going to be as much snow with that round. So Let's take a more finite look at the next 48 hours with Futurecast radar. So 8 this morning, seeing the snowfall picking up in the Cascades. I'm thinking the heaviest accumulations are going to start after 10 a.m. though, and then maybe getting a little rain snow mix for the valleys. And this is going to be one of those days where I can just kind of step off the screen for Futurecast, as it's going to be this constant onslaught of moisture throughout the day. Now, by midnight, maybe trending a little bit drier for the valleys and for the Cascades. And then we're going to start off the day on Wednesday much drier in comparison to today, but watch what happens as we head into the afternoon. That next storm system starts to show its impacts, and so rainfall will start to pick up across the map, and that'll continue into Thanksgiving Day. If that went by a little bit too fast, you can see those hour-by-hour precip chances for your neck of the woods by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Chances of rain today through Saturday, although Friday and Saturday are trending drier. In Yakima, rain likely today, drier for Wednesday, but wetter again for Thanksgiving Day. In Ellensburg, snow mixing in throughout the day, although accumulations will be minimal. Then perhaps some icy roadways tomorrow morning. For Hermiston, rain chances will hover around 50-50 for today, tomorrow, and Thanksgiving. Drier for Black Friday and Saturday. And finally, for Walla Walla, consistent rain chances today through Black Friday, then watching the potential of a few flurries flying on Saturday.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:50 time for your morning sprint. We start with the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. A pedestrian is in critical condition after being hit in a Richland crosswalk. Police say it happened around 8 yesterday morning when a driver turning from Lee Boulevard onto Chestnut Avenue hit someone in that crosswalk. Investigators say the driver wasn't distracted and is cooperating. The pedestrian was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The crash remains under investigation. And the Yakima School District is moving forward with a $200 million bond heading to voters this April. The measure would rebuild Hoover and Garfield Elementary, 2 of the district's oldest schools, and it would fund improvements like HVAC upgrades, playgrounds, sidewalks, and ADA accessibility. If passed, homeowners would see about an $80 increase per $100,000 of assessed value, roughly $20 a month for a typical Yakima home. The bond needs 60% approval and enough voter turnout to meet state requirements. And staying in Yakima, a 5-hour city council meeting drew more than 25 speakers fighting to keep the Lions pool open. The pool is on the chopping block because of budget cuts, but the closure would have ended nearly every Yakima area high school swim season months early. Students, parents, and coaches urged council members to reconsider after hearing public comment. The council unanimously voted to direct staff to find a way to keep the pool open through February. One option, using a one-time $1 million fund through an official long-term solution, it hasn't been finalized yet. Well, Franklin County Emergency Management is taking public comment on its updated hazard mitigation plan. It's a review required every 5 years. The plan identifies major risks like extreme heat, cold, wind, landslides, toxic algae blooms, and wildfires. It also outlines action items, including projects to clear fire fuel along major highways, better public alert systems, and support for grant funding. Officials say the goal is strengthening community preparedness and improving coordination between agencies and residents. And finally, Washington State Patrol says Thanksgiving weekend is one of the most dangerous travel periods of the year. Last year in the Tri-Cities area, troopers responded to 18 crashes, made 6 DUI arrests, and stopped more than 120 speeding drivers, along with multiple road rage and distracted driving incidents. WSP urges drivers to prep their vehicles, carry chains for mountain passes, use fog lights when visibility drops, and stay patient on crowded roads. Also, they say if you see a drunk or reckless or wrong-way driver, call 911 immediately. 5:52 in your national headlines now. Today is the start of Thanksgiving travel period, and AAA forecasts a record-setting holiday stretch between now and Monday. It projects almost 82 million people will venture at least 50 miles from home, and that would beat last year's record. It predicts almost 90% of people will drive, about 6 million will fly, and less than half will choose other transportation. FAA expects today to have the most flights of the holiday period. 5:53 in your business headlines now this morning. There are more U.S. home buyers who are taking a financial gamble before signing on the dotted line. Economists say there's been an increase in Americans taking out adjustable rate mortgages. Unlike fixed rate mortgages, ARM loans can provide people with short-term breathing space from increased borrowing costs. But the trade-off is after a set period of time, usually a few years, an ARM rate will reset with the current market. And that means if rates rise, a homeowner's monthly payment could potentially surge upwards. The share of buyers taking ARMs has more than tripled over the past 5 years. In 1 week in September, those loans made up nearly 13% of all mortgage applications in the U.S. And that was the highest share since 2008. 5:54 in your health headlines this morning. Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he personally told the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to change certain language on its website. That change to move away from its previous guidance that vaccines do not cause autism. The website now reflects the position that it is not evidence-based that vaccines do not cause autism. Kennedy told the New York Times that some vaccine safety studies haven't been done, especially on shots given in the first year of life. Critics argue that he is ignoring evidence that vaccines save lives and do not cause autism. In science news this morning, there's some encouraging environmental news about the ozone hole over the Antarctic. It has shrunk in size and is now the 5th smallest since 1992. That revelation comes from scientists at NASA and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The ozone acts like sunscreen for people on Earth, helping to protect people from the sun's harmful UV rays. Researchers say in the 2000s, the ozone hole was big compared to the 1980s. They say people's use of harmful chemicals on Earth, like chlorofluorocarbons, those poked holes in the ozone layers, and some of those chemicals were found in household products like aerosol sprays. In 1992, a landmark international agreement to phase out those chemicals took effect, and those efforts have shown promise in recent years, allowing the ozone hole to repair itself. All right, 5:55, trending this morning, a new crystal ball will be dropped in Times Square this year to ring in 2026. The ball was unveiled just yesterday in New York City as it made its inaugural ascent up the 139-foot pole.
It features over 5,000 Waterford crystals, nearly twice what covered the previous iteration. It also has circular crystals for the first time.
Yeah, this is only the 9th time the ball has been updated since the tradition began in 1907. The previous ball will now go on display as a part of a Times Travel immersive experience in the city, and that is set to open next year. Very cool.
Very, very cool. We were talking, I think it was last week, about sort of like bucket list things. Being in New York City for Christmas time would definitely be on that list. But I've heard that being there for New Year's Eve when the ball drops, I've heard that it's like you have to be in line, like you have to be in your spot all night. And if you have to go to the bathroom, like you just pretty much have to hold it. So I might ixnay that one from the bucket list.
It's a little wild. I've been there for New Year's Eve when the ball dropped many years ago. And if you want to get right in there and right in the thick of it, you got to kind of post up and stay. But there are so many places around that kind of center hub of where the ball drops that you can find a good spot kind of outside the barricades and still see the action.
Okay, then I might put it back on the list.
Yeah, I think it's I don't necessarily know if I'd go back and do it again, but I'm glad I did it once when I did it.
Yeah.
So.
Say that you
right?
could.
I could. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Data centers are growing across Washington, and the state is laying out how they are keeping air quality safe, even when backup generators kick on. Coming up, we're going to break down what ecology is requiring. Plus, 3 Columbia Basin teams, 3 different brackets, and all just one step away from a shot at a state title. We have those matchups coming up in your 6 o'clock hour. And giving you a live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. It's still awfully dark and chilly out there this morning, Josh. What can we expect as we make our way into the day?
Yeah, we can expect some snow. Not here for lower elevations, but our Cascade passes are going to be a mess for today. It's the first alert weather day of the season. So I'll tell you why that's the case coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.